Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Neil. If you've not been here before, please do not forget to subscribe before you leave. Wow, what a night for the Slipknot fans, okay? We're going to talk in this video about Slipknot's announcement last night about Craig Jones. We're also going to talk about Zakk Wylde's new guitar that he's been seen on stage with. We're going to talk about the Chapman guitar's Ghost for it. We're also going to talk about Kiss's last tour. Whew, let's go. Okay guys, so over here in the UK last night I was just climbing into my bed, and you know, like when you're climbing into bed and you go through your news feed for one last time, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I think it was Instagram I was on actually, and I saw an announcement from Slipknot. I could hardly read it, to be honest. It was really faint, small white writing on a black background, and it basically was announcing that Craig Jones was leaving. Now this is quite an odd announcement and quite a big shock, and the reason for that is because Slipknot are playing Download Festival in about 2 or 3 days over here in the UK. Let's talk about Craig Jones for a minute. So those of you that don't know, Craig Jones is who I call Pinhead, okay? He's known as 133, and he's the guy with the mask with all the massive nails coming off it. Now that mask is actually my least favourite mask out of all the Slipknot masks. Sorry Craig, but it just is. What I will say is though, if Slipknot did a photo shoot and that mask was not there, it wouldn't feel like Slipknot for some reason. So although I don't particularly like that mask on its own, it wouldn't feel like Slipknot to me with that mask missing, probably more so than any others. That's one of the masks that doesn't change. The 133 mask has always had the pins on for as long as I can remember. I'm pretty sure that it's always been like that. The Jim Root mask is always based around a similar mask, and Mick Thompson's. Everyone else's seemed to change quite a bit. Obviously the clown mask is always based on a clown, but yeah, Corey Taylor's mask changes quite a lot. Both drummers, obviously the drummers have changed, but the masks have changed with them. So it's a real weird one for me to think that I'm not going to see that mask anymore on the Slipknot photo shoots, the album covers, posters, whatever. But yeah, I don't know how much Craig Jones had input-wise into the writing, but what I will say is his atmospheric soundscapes that he created were typically Slipknot. You know, like you knew it was Slipknot when you heard, you know, the soundscapes on intros or mid-song. You knew it was Slipknot. So he, I'm assuming, invented those, created those, wrote those, and I'm assuming that, you know, someone's going to have to fill his shoes and they're going to have to sound like that, because if they sound different, it will sound like a different Slipknot, because I think his atmospheric synths, you know, had created a large part of the Slipknot sound. I don't know how much input he had, otherwise it was pretty quiet on the stage, he never did really any interviews or anything, and I found him quite boring. But you've got to give him credit where credit's due. The synths and everything that he created were perfect and a massive contributing factor to the Slipknot sound. Now, a couple of hours after it was announced that he was leaving, and they haven't really filled us in on why, nobody really knows why. They're no spring chickens, Slipknot. So he might just be sick of touring, he might have just had enough. He's done everything anyway. He's achieved everything you can possibly achieve just about in his career, so he might just be calling it a day and settling down, and he's had enough or whatever. You know, I don't think there's been a fallout or anything like that. There may have been, who knows. But a couple of hours after he left, they put a picture out there of a new mask. I have to say, it looks awesome. Okay, it looks really sick. The new mask looks great. It looks like a Sith Lord or something like that. You know, there's a black hood over this kind of dried up lizard face, leather face type mask, but it's got like a really sinister, cheesy kind of grin on it. And yeah, the mask looks great. The new mask looks great. We don't know who's behind the mask, obviously. I'm sure the media will be trying to find out as much as they can. Like I said, this must have been going on a while now, because Slipknot are playing Download in like 2 days. So this must have been pre-planned. To announce him leaving and bring the new guy in just before Download, it's got to have been in the pipelines for quite a while. While we're talking about Download, there's rumours going around that Clown, who is also quite a large figure, especially live on stage, he's very active. He sometimes climbs in the crowd at arenas and things, he has a baseball bat, hits a keg with it, has a clown mask. He's pretty scary looking, to be honest, as clowns usually are. He's not playing Download. You know, that's what the rumour is, that he won't be there as well. So it will be interesting to see what kind of show it is at Download Festival. I'm not going, but I can't wait to see the footage, you know, to see what Slipknot are like with a new guy involved and also without Clown jumping around. Whether Clown is leaving or not, we don't actually know. The rumours are that he's just not playing at Download for some reason. So guys, what I want to know is, what do you think about him leaving? Do you know how much input he actually has in the writing process of Slipknot and things like that? I mean, the last Slipknot album, I didn't like it at all, to be honest. I listened to it twice and I had to force myself to listen to it all the way through. As with previous Slipknot albums, I'd play them to death, particularly in the gym. When I was in the gym, I'd play that Slipknot a lot. And also, when Slipknot albums usually end, I'm like, oh, I was really enjoying that, and now I'm back to the beginning. You know, I wanted more. That's how Slipknot albums usually leave me. But that one, you know, the last album, I couldn't wait to turn it off, to be honest. Right, moving on. Chapman Guitars have been in touch with me, and I am receiving a brand new release guitar from them. It's the Ghost Fret. The Ghost Fret has been re-released. It's been missing for a few years now. It's an Explorer shape and it's available in 3 colours. All 3 colours are satin finish, and it's like a stain on there. One is green, one is blue, and the other one is trans like black. I really like the look of them. I'm going to try and get hold of the green one if possible, because that's the one that just jumps out to me, and I think in the lights and everything it will look really cool on YouTube videos. But I can't wait to receive that guitar. As far as I know, not much has changed about the Ghost Fret, other than they've tried to fix the balance, okay? And whether or not they balance good or not before, I don't know, but I've seen people mention that they've changed the balance of the guitar and they balance a lot better. Now, I sit down anyway, so it's not a big deal for me, to be honest, but yeah, can't wait to get that guitar on the channel. Huge thanks to Chapman Guitars for reaching out to me and sorting that out. The next thing I want to talk about while we're talking about guitars is Zakk Wylde has been on stage singing with this new guitar. It's a Wild Audio guitar, but it's got Dime from Hell graphics on, okay? The lightning bolt graphics, basically. It looks absolutely awesome, and I think it's a real nice tribute to Dime to do that. But what I want to know is, obviously Dime guitars with Rita and Co have fallen out with Dean guitars, so there is no Dime guitars at the moment, and everyone was saying, like, who's going to be making these guitars for Dime now? Who's for the you know, for the Dimebag estate? Who's going to be creating the guitars to keep the legacy alive? And I'm wondering, now we've seen Zakk Wylde with those graphics on his guitar, I'm wondering if Wild Audio will be making the new Dime Stealths and Razorbacks. It's all got to go to court yet, I do believe, to find out who owns those shapes. But wouldn't it be cool if Wild Audio was going to take over and make, you know, the new Dime guitars? I think that would be a sensible thing to do. So, you know, Zakk Wylde has been filling Dimebag's shoes. While we're talking about that, he's been getting a lot of grief online, and I just think he sounds brilliant to me. It sounds like Zakk Wylde playing Pantera songs, and that's what it's supposed to be. It's him paying a tribute to Dime. He's not supposed to sound exactly like Dime. Nobody can sound exactly like Dime, just like nobody can sound exactly like Zakk Wylde, you know? Zakk Wylde is an absolutely fantastic player and a really nice guy, and he's paying a tribute to his friend, and good luck to him. And it would be really cool if Wild Audio, you know, Zakk Wylde's guitar brand, took on the new Dime guitars. That would be really cool. But what do you think, guys? Do you think that this is a hint that maybe Wild Audio will be bringing out the new Dime guitars? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Right, let's talk about Kiss, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. I don't get Kiss, okay, I never have done. There's 3 good songs: God Gave Rock and Roll to You, Crazy Nights, and another one, what I can't think of what it's called, but I think there's about 3, maybe 4 hits by Kiss, and the rest of the songs, like, I've put their albums on to try and get into them, and I can't get into them, okay? It's not for me. So some friends of mine said, well, if you like, you know, you got to see Kiss live. Never mind listening to the songs. It's not about the songs, it's about seeing them live. And I thought, well, you got a good point there, you know. They've got an iconic logo that's become, you know, it's well known. It's a brand that is well known. The makeup and the costumes and everything, and the fireworks on guitars and all that type of shenanigans. Yeah, you know, you got to respect that. They've built a brand there. The Kiss brand, it is a brand. But that's all it is for me, because when I saw them live at Download, I was really looking forward to them because my friends who were Kiss fans said, "You've got to see them live." And basically I sobered up pretty quick when they came on because I was bored. I was eating chips at the time. It just wasn't for me. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm not saying they're not great entertainers. I'm not saying these shows aren't great. You know, there's a guy on wires. Yeah, the guitar player was on these wires above you. Fireworks on guitars, you know, all the fancy costumes and everything. It looks great, but for me there has to be some good music there. I was waiting for God Gave Rock and Roll to You, or whatever the hell it's called, if that's the name of it, I don't know. That's the song I was waiting for. They were going to sing it like everybody else, but unfortunately they didn't even play that song. And to me, when you've only got 3 or 4 hits, you have to play that song. So I don't know, I don't get it. I don't get Kiss. I'm not, you know, this isn't a negative channel. I'm not having a pop at Kiss. Obviously they've achieved far more than I'm ever going to do, but I think it's more of a merchandise thing. I think the look and everything, it's all about that. It's not really actually about the music. They've got those 4 good hits maybe. Maybe it's an American thing. I don't know, but I'm not big on Kiss. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I never have. So, sorry about that. It's the last tour they're doing, which is why I brought this up, and I'm not that bothered. Somebody asked me the other day, "Oh, Kiss, it's their last tour. What we're going to do?" I'm not fussed. I'm not bothered. I never really liked them that much. So, yeah. What do you guys think? Will you miss Kiss on tour? Do you think that Zakk Wylde is hinting that Wild Audio will be taking over making dime guitars? What do you think about Craig Jones leaving Slipknot? You probably, although I'm a big Slipknot fan, you probably know more about him and his participation if you're a Slipknot fanboy. You know, how much he gets involved in writing and things. You'll probably know more about that than I do, that's for sure. And what do you think of the new Chapman Guitars Ghost Frets? Let me know down there about those 4 things in the comments, guys. Please do not forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you all very soon.